Welcome back to Clarity Convos for Wedding Pros podcast. I'm your host, Aislinn. I was a luxury wedding photographer for 13 years before I retired, and now I'm an intuitive business coach. I help women in the wedding industry revolutionize their mindset and the way they think about creating money. I love what I get to do as a business coach, and I also loved what I got to do as a wedding photographer. And my goal with this podcast is to help you get more clarity in your business and create a business that feels really, really good to you. Not feels good to your competitors, not feels good to other people in the wedding industry. I mean, it feels good to you. So on this podcast, we talk about all kinds of things. Sometimes I talk about manifestation. Sometimes I talk about nervous system regulation. Sometimes I give you sales strategies. Sometimes I give you exit strategies from the wedding industry. And sometimes, like today, I give you clarity questions. I'm actually really excited about this. I've tried to record this podcast a couple times, but for some reason, I keep stumbling over my words. And this time I am determined that we are going to get through this entire podcast. And if I stumble, and that's okay. But I'm really excited about this podcast episode because with my Success Accelerator program clients, which is my signature program, I ask questions every single week at the start of the week to get them thinking about their business in a different way. So today, this is probably going to be one of the shortest episodes that we do, and I'm thinking it'll probably be a series that we do together. I'm going to start asking you similar questions. I won't ask you the same questions I ask within Success Accelerator program, but I will ask you questions that are going to get the gears turning in your head around how you think about your business and different ways to get more clarity within your life and your business. So I'm mostly going to be rapid firing these questions, but I occasionally will have a couple extra inputs when the questions come up. So let's get into clarity questions. Question number 1, what are you being called to start right now? I don't care if you're listening to this in the month of May, the month of November, the month of June. I don't really care. I don't care when you're listening to this. What are you feeling called to start right now? It could be in your business, it could be in your personal life, it could be in your finances, it could be in your spirituality, like whatever it is. Like, what are you feeling called to start right now? What action can you take towards starting whatever that thing is? All right, second question. What are you being called to stop? What are you being called to stop? So this could be, what are you feeling called to stop doing? It could be, what are you feeling called to stop acting or behaving? What are you feeling called to stop saying? What are you feeling called to stop having? There's so many different ways you could answer this question. So for me, personally, when I asked myself this question of like, what am I feeling called to stop? My answer to it was, I've been feeling called to stop talking about finances and talking about different aspects of my life negatively. And instead, I'm going to start talking about these different things in a way of, this is what I'm creating for myself. So what are you feeling called to stop right now? Another thing I was feeling called to stop was reading books for 4 to 5 hours on end. I had gotten to a point where I was just trying to escape a little bit. And so I was reading a lot of books, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with reading, but I had gotten to a point where I was reading too long. Like, I was sitting still for too long instead of using that time and energy and focus on creation. So I felt called to put a little bit more parameters around my reading habits. All right, next question. Where are you feeling called to pivot? Where are you feeling called to pivot? Is there anything in your life you're feeling a huge shift around that you're like, I need to pivot this? Whether it's your niche or, maybe it's you're thinking like, hey, maybe I don't want to be in the wedding industry anymore and I want to add on additional revenue streams so that I can exit eventually. That's a pivot right there. Or maybe you're feeling called to change markets. Maybe you're feeling called to move across country just because you can. I did that. Maybe you're feeling called to do just so many different things, but they're different than what you've done in the past. So it feels like this really big transition and this really big pivot. So what are you feeling called to pivot? Next question. Where are you feeling called to learn and grow? Where are you feeling called to learn and grow? Is there any place in your life that you're feeling just kind of lit up about certain topics or certain, apps or certain subjects or skill sets that you want to learn? Like, are you feeling called to grow and learn anything right now? And how can you put a little bit of energy into that? Maybe you're interested in learning about revenue streams and you're interested in learning about selling courses. If you're feeling called to learn and grow in that particular aspect, how can you get the resources to go out after that and start to learn and grow in that particular sector? Also, if that is something you're feeling called to learn and grow in, that is something that I teach in Success Accelerator program. So that's a great space for you to learn and grow. All right, next question. Am I acting in alignment with what I desire? I don't care if you're an intention setting person or not, or if you sit and journal for 20 minutes every single morning and ask yourself super deep questions and what is it I want? What is it I desire? What am I creating? I don't care if that's you or not. What I do care about is, are you acting in alignment with what you're desiring and what you're trying to create with your life? You don't have to sit down every single day and be super intentional with what you're creating. I would love if you did. But you're human and I'm human and we don't always do that. But can you get intentional in this moment as you're listening to this podcast and ask yourself, what do I want next? And am I acting in alignment with what I say that I want next and what I say that I desire? Next question. What do I want to be known for? What do I want to be known for? I love this question because it changes. It changes so often, in our lives and different seasons of our life. But I want you to think about, what do I want to be known for? And you can kind of take this from the perspective, what do I want to be known for in my life, but also what do I want to be known for in my business? And am I acting in alignment with what I want to be known for? If I want to leave a certain type of legacy, am I actually creating that legacy? Next question. What do I need to be successful this week? I love this question. I love this question so much because it annoys me to have to ask it when I'm what do I need to be successful? And I'm I probably don't need to be watching Netflix as often as I want to watch Netflix. And I probably shouldn't be on TikTok. And I probably, maybe should write out stuff in my full focus planner. What else do I need to be successful this week? Coffee. I probably need to have coffee this week. Okay, if those are the things that I need to be successful, am I actually creating the environment to be successful? So for example, if you are trying to, start a podcast and this week, you're okay, I'm going to launch a podcast. I'm so excited. What do you need to be successful to launch your podcast? There's a couple applications you need. There's probably a couple tools you need. There's probably, one or two things that you need to pay for. What do you need to be successful if that's what you're going after and that's what you're creating? What do I need to be successful this week? Just ask yourself. You know the answer. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're amazing. Of course you know the answer. You don't need to look to somebody else to know, what do I need to be successful this week? Just ask yourself. All right, next question. Where am I feeling heavy or unstable in my life or business? Where am I feeling heavy or unstable in my life or business? I really like to talk to my clients about this because if something in your business is feeling heavy or unstable, it's a sign that we need to shift that because it's not sustainable in the long term. And I'm not here to help people make super quick businesses. I am here to help people make long-term businesses that feel really, really good and feel really sustainable. And so part of that is multiple streams of revenue. Part of that is mindset. Part of that is really being able to declutter your workflow and the things that you have in your life that are not serving you. So that's kind of where this question comes from, is where am I feeling heavy or unstable? And how do I clean it up? What do I need to do to clean it up? So for example, if you're feeling really heavy or unstable about, let's see, what would be a good example? If you're feeling heavy or unstable about your pricing and you want to change it, but you're just sitting in this space of I can't change it because, industry standard says I have to book 3 more weddings at this price in order for me to charge another price. I want you to ask yourself, why does it feel heavy? Why does it feel unstable? And if I'm building something for the long term, what would I do? If I'm building something for the long term, how would I actually change this? What moves would I make? All right, and here's the final question I want you guys to ask yourself when we're going into clarity questions. Where am I feeling confident and stable in my life and business? So this is the opposite of the one I just asked. Where am I feeling confident and stable in my life and business? And how can I have more of that? How can I say this, but better? This or better? How can I say, universe, more, please? How can I say, yes, I want more of this. This feels really good. I am so confident in this particular thing. I feel so stable in this particular thing. How can I create more of that? How can I create more of that? All right, so we have asked clarity questions. I hope that your mind is going a million miles a minute right now with all the different answers that are coming up for you. And I want you to go take action on these. And if you liked this clarity questions episode and this is something that you want to see more of, please send me a DM or an email and let me know that you listened to this and you felt like this was something you would like to see more regularly on the show, because I would love to do that with you guys, is have some more series that we do together. And if you are interested in working with me, there are multiple different ways to do it, but here's the most important ones. Success Accelerator Program, which is my group program. It's my signature group program. It's a 4-month group program for women in the wedding industry who are ready to revolutionize their mindset, meaning I'm going to help you master your mindset and all the different things that come within mindset, confidence, all of those things. We're going to master those things. And I'm going to teach you how to create a scalable offer suite. So that could look like a course. It could look like coaching. It could look like digital products, any of those things. We're going to be talking about how to create a scalable offer suite so that you have multiple streams of revenue, so that you have that stability that I know you are craving. So that's the first place that you can find me, is my signature program, SAP, Success Accelerator Program. The second place you can find me is one-on-one coaching. This is for the woman who is ready to fly. You are ready to soar. You're ready to do life and business with a coach and mentor who gets it. And you're ready to be in your next level. You're just so ready. If either of those sound interesting to you, you can find me on Instagram at Aislinn Eileen Coaching. Again, if you loved this episode, please let me know. I would love to create more of the episodes that you love. I would love to create more of the episodes you love. I'm sorry, my sentences were a little bit fumbled there, but that's okay. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful week. I'm so proud of you. Go ask yourself these clarity questions and let's make magic.